rest stops have been introduced for delivery drivers in Dubai. This is a big story that we broke yesterday on our feed on Instagram. So the number of delivery service companies in Dubai in 2022 was 2,891 delivery driver services. You see them on the roads. You know it's a big business.
You appreciate them.
You appreciate them. Do we appreciate them enough? There's a question. So there's also recording a growth rate of delivery drivers, 48% compared to 2021. So it's a growing business. And with that, we need to grow the infrastructure around it. And that's what the RTA are doing. So they're literally our heroes. And during their job, they work in sandstorms, they work in rain, they work in soaring heat conditions, which of course we acknowledge during the summer. So having a place to sit and rest during these times in particular is vital. And so the RTA, they're calling on UAE business communities to work together in a bid to construct new rest stops across key areas in Dubai for delivery drivers.
So the project aims to provide basic services for delivery drivers such as maintenance, refueling, rest areas, restaurants, and the station will be situated in 3 really important locations. So this will include Sheikh Zayed Road near Festival Plaza. The second will be at Port Said next to Al Muraqabat Street 22, and the third will be at Ras Al Khor Industrial Area 2 close to Al Manama Street.
And now, by launching this project, the RTA aims to make delivery drivers happier by providing the basic services they need, such as maintenance, refueling, rest areas, and restaurants. So it's not just a kind of like a pit stop. There's going to be a lot of facilities there for the drivers. And at these facilities, the RTA will provide educational material about safety and quality regulation. Hadn't thought about it. Much needed. Brilliant initiative by the RTA.
1000%, especially with summer coming along. Like, I know it's just March, but it really, really is getting hotter. And these things are neat. Like, they do the absolute most for us. They come in with a smile on their faces. So, just acknowledging what needs to be done, you know, like, I've only needed taxis, especially like the last week. And the positive attitude, you appreciate that. So small things. And with just like summer especially, like walking to your car is already excruciatingly hot, you know? So let alone like dealing with the circumstances of Mother Nature all day long.
Exactly. And had we thought about, I certainly hadn't thought about in harsh weather, where are drivers going? Obviously they'll have their depot where they leave their bike, but that's going to be in one location in Dubai. This will be 3 key areas across the city where all drivers will be able to go to. And as we said, it's not just a rest area. There'll be restaurants, there'll be maintenance information, there'll be tips and rules from the RTA that it's a basic place to go. Super great initiative. You know, one person said actually, hope there'll be water. Yes, there'll be water. People had questions. There'll be water. There'll be food. One person said, which I thought was genius, can they get their own lane, driving lane?
That's actually genius.
Yeah, that's a genius question.
Because like we don't necessarily have like motorbike routes. Yeah, exactly. Or even bike lanes in general. You know, there are areas where that's provided, but it's the Middle East, you know, like the roads are different.
Exactly, they're different. It could come in future. It's one thing I hadn't really thought about, the fact that there's no bus lanes here and that could essentially be a road for the drivers as well. I know how conscious I am as a relatively new driver about bikers on the road.
Yeah.
They just come out of nowhere, and I'm so conscious of like, even when when there's a biker behind me or there's a biker in front of me, I'm 5 times more aware, and I'm not sure why. Like, I know I'll keep the same distance between a car and a bike, but for some reason, I'm more concerned if it's a delivery driver.
I know what you
and then
mean.
if they're right behind me, I'm like, oh, I need to make sure I'm giving them loads of space and all
safely.
of that. I don't know if that's just me being conscious or...
Nope, I get it. Like, so on the way here today, there was major traffic, and with bikes especially, they can like, not slither necessarily, but like make their way through the traffic easier than cars can, of course. But just like switching lanes and all these small things, you have to be super cautious of people on bikes in general.
And this initiative is basically brought about because of the massive growth in the delivery driver industry. We gave the numbers there at the beginning of the segment, and as we know, we're a delivery city. We get it morning, noon and night. Everything from our cosmetics to our food to our groceries, everything can be delivered at the drop of a hat, and this is a great innovation and initiative to make sure that drivers are more comfortable on the roads.
Yep, well said, Casey.